What if the official dietary advice for managing blood sugar is the very thing making the problem worse? For millions of people, life has become a stressful cycle of counting carbs, fearing meals, and watching those numbers on the glucose meter spike and crash. We've been told to eat frequent, balanced meals full of whole grains, to manage the very condition those foods directly cause. But what if there was a different path? A path that doesn't involve constant hunger, complex calculations, or the fear of your next meal? What if the most powerful tool for metabolic health has been sitting on your plate all along, disguised as a threat? I am MS Mirza from Carnivore Cure. Welcome! If you or someone you love is struggling with blood sugar issues, from pre-diabetes to type 2, and you're ready for a paradigm shift that challenges everything you've been told, you are in the absolute right place. If you're new here, subscribe, like, comment, and share. It helps us reach everyone who needs to hear this life-changing information. Today, we're diving into the shocking, science-backed truth about the carnivore diet and blood sugar stability. This isn't just theory, it's a metabolic revolution. Part 1. The Flawed Foundation. Why managing diabetes is a losing game. The standard approach to type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance is fundamentally one of management, not reversal. It's like having a leaky boat and focusing all your energy on bailing out water with a tiny cup instead of plugging the hole. The mainstream advice is to eat low-fat, high-carb meals and then use medication, like metformin or insulin, to force the sugar out of your bloodstream and into your cells. Think about that for a second. You are actively consuming the substance that raises your blood sugar, carbohydrates, and then using powerful drugs to deal with the toxic fallout. It's a metabolic nightmare. You're treating the symptom, high blood glucose, while continually ingesting the cause. This is the critical content gap. Mainstream sources focus on what to eat with your condition, rather than what is causing your condition. They've turned diabetes into a chronic, progressive disease that you merely manage, when the evidence is screaming that it can often be put into remission by addressing the root cause: hyperinsulinemia, chronically high insulin levels. The goal isn't to better manage high blood sugar. The goal is to stop causing it in the first place. Part 2. The Carnivore Mechanism. How zero carbs creates metabolic peace. So, how does the carnivore diet short-circuit this destructive cycle? The mechanism is beautifully simple. When you eat carbohydrates, your body breaks them down into glucose, causing a spike in blood sugar. This triggers the pancreas to release insulin. Insulin's job is to shuttle that glucose into your cells for energy. But when this happens too often, your cells start to ignore insulin's knock at the door. This is called insulin resistance. Your pancreas then has to pump out even more insulin to get the job done, leading to sky-high insulin levels. Now, enter the carnivore diet. By consuming zero carbohydrates, you completely remove the primary trigger for blood sugar and insulin spikes. On a carnivore diet, your blood sugar levels become a flat line. No spikes. No crashes. Just steady, stable energy. This is the single most powerful intervention for reversing insulin resistance. You are giving your overworked pancreas a vacation it desperately needs. But the body still needs energy. So, what does it run on? Fat. Your body seamlessly shifts from being a sugar burner to a fat burner. In this fat-adapted state, your liver converts fat into ketones, a clean, efficient fuel that your brain and muscles love. Your energy is no longer tied to your last meal. You break free from the 3-hour hunger cycle. Part 3. Beyond glucose. The real MVP is insulin. While everyone focuses on the glucose meter, they're missing the star of the show, insulin. High insulin is the silent killer. It drives inflammation, stores belly fat, and keeps you locked in a fat storage mode. The most profound effect of the carnivore diet isn't just on blood glucose. It's the dramatic and rapid reduction in fasting insulin levels. This is the key that unlocks metabolic health. Consider the work of pioneers like Dr. Jason Fung and the clinical results from organizations like Virta Health. Their research, published in peer-reviewed journals like the Journal of Medical Internet Research, demonstrates that a very low-carb, high-fat diet is profoundly effective at lowering insulin, reducing or eliminating diabetes medication, and reversing type 2 diabetes. A 2021 study published in Current Developments in Nutrition that surveyed over 2,000 carnivores found similar self-reported outcomes, significant improvements in metabolic health markers and a reduction or elimination of medications for diabetes and related conditions. The carnivore diet doesn't just manage diabetes. It attacks the root cause, hyperinsulinemia, by removing the food that creates it. If this explanation is making you see your health in a whole new light, do me a favor. Please hit that like button and share this video. You never know who in your life is silently struggling and needs to see this. Let's build a community of empowered, healthy people. Part 4, Real-World Proof, From Panic to Peace. Let's move from the biochemistry to the human stories. This is what metabolic freedom looks like. James, the pre-diabetic accountant. James got the scary call from his doctor. His fasting blood sugar was 118, and his HbA1c was in the pre-diabetic range. He was told to eat more whole grains. Frustrated, he tried carnivore. Within 90 days, his HbA1c dropped to 5.2%, and his fasting glucose stabilized in the low 80s. The constant hunger and 3 p.m. energy crashes were gone. Maria, with type 2 diabetes. Maria was injecting insulin twice a day. She was terrified of the long-term complications. Under her doctor's supervision, she adopted a carnivore diet. Within weeks, her insulin needs plummeted. After 4 months, she was off insulin entirely, her blood sugar levels were non-diabetic, and she had lost 40 pounds of inflammatory fat. David, the snacker. David didn't have a diagnosis, but he was a slave to his hunger. He needed to eat every few hours or he'd get hangry and shaky. This was a sign of poor blood sugar regulation. On carnivore, he was amazed to find he could easily go 6, 8, even 12 hours between meals without a single craving or crash. His energy was constant. His body was finally running on a stable fuel source. Part 5. Addressing the big questions and concerns. I know what you're thinking. Let's tackle the tough questions. But doesn't your body need carbs? Won't it make glucose from protein, gluconeogenesis? This is the most common and most misunderstood objection. Gluconeogenesis, GNG, is a demand-driven process, not a supply-driven one. Your liver will make the precise, minimal amount of glucose your body actually needs, for a few specific cells like red blood cells, from the glycerol in fat and from protein. It does not create a blood sugar spike. It's a tightly regulated, metabolic safety net. What about the carnivore diabetes paradox? Some people see a rise in fasting blood glucose. This is a real phenomenon, often seen in highly insulin-sensitive, lean individuals. It's called the dawn phenomenon. In the early morning, your liver releases a burst of glucose to help you wake up. In an insulin-sensitive person on a low-carb diet, this can cause a temporary, harmless rise in fasting glucose. It's a sign of metabolic health, not dysfunction. This is why HbA1c, a 3-month average, is a far better marker than a single fasting glucose reading. Is this safe long-term for a diabetic? The most dangerous thing for a diabetic is high blood sugar and high insulin. The carnivore diet directly and powerfully lowers both. While long-term RCTs are still emerging, the short and medium-term clinical results for diabetes reversal on very low-carb diets are undeniable and far superior to the standard of care. Conclusion: the path to metabolic freedom. We've been sold a lie. We've been told that a progressive, debilitating disease is our fate, something we must manage with ever-increasing medications while still eating the foods that make us sick. The shocking truth is that the solution is radical simplicity. The carnivore diet offers the most effective elimination diet for the primary driver of metabolic dysfunction, carbohydrate intolerance. It provides steady energy, crushes cravings, and allows your body to finally heal from the inside out. Your body is begging for stability. It's time to stop fighting your biology and start working with it. If this conversation has given you hope and a new understanding of what's possible for your health, then my goal is accomplished. Subscribe to Carnivore Cure if you believe in finding root cause solutions. Now, I want to hear from you. What has been your biggest struggle with blood sugar and hunger? Share your story in the comments. Your experience could be the beacon of hope for someone else. Disclaimer: I am not a medical doctor. This video is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you are on medication for diabetes, it is crucial to work with a knowledgeable healthcare provider, as your dosages will need to be carefully monitored and adjusted. I'm MS Mirza. Stay strong, trust your body, and I'll see you in the next video.